Flies and my fly guys, listen, it's a little bit late here, but we have something we need to discuss. And listen, if you've already tuned in, then I know that you're ready to get into tonight's discussion. So without pause, let's get to it. So as we know, fashion is constantly changing, and while we welcome some of the changes, I think there are those that we oftentimes must push back against, and others that we must really utterly destroy. Why? Well, it is my opinion that everything is not to be worn by everyone. And if you agree with me or disagree with me, you should stay tuned, because you really want to be a part of this conversation tonight as we discuss why Black men are the last pillars in fashion. That's right, that's our topic for tonight. So go ahead and tell Lottie Dottie and everybody that HeSpoke Fashion is live. And boy, do we have a discussion for you. Are you ready? We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Are you ready, AB? All right, let's get it. Hit it. Yeah, in the building. HeSpoke Fashion. HeSpoke Fashion. All right. Again, thank you for joining us. I'm glad that you've taken time out of your busy schedule to have this conversation. And as I said in my opening monologue, there are some fashion changes on the horizon that for me prove the need for a clarion call. But get this, that's right, brothers, for Black men to unite. Unite, why you ask? Unite in defense of being the last pillar. That's right, brothers, you are the last pillar. So first of all, we must define what a pillar is. And a pillar is, as defined by the Oxford Language Dictionary, is simply a person or thing regarded as reliably providing essential support for something. So as in, for example, he was a pillar of his local community. So therefore, when you describe someone as a pillar of society or as a pillar of the community, you approve of them because they play an important and active part in society or in their community. Now, this is what I mean when I say that black men are a pillar, the last pillar, I might add, in fashion. So listen, guys, you have a very important part to play in the fashion arena. Whether you know it or not, and whether you believe it or not, you have a very important part to play. You see, I want you to understand that the Massachusetts Centennial ran a series of cartoons depicting the ratification of the Constitution. And this is where I collectively took my thought, because the 11 pillars represented the order that the states, moving from left to right in the illustrations, ratified the Constitution. Now in this cartoon, North Carolina's pillar is being guided into place. It would then vote for ratification in November 1789. But Rhode Island's pillar, however, is crumbling and shows the uncertainty of the vote there. So in this picture, black men would be Rhode Island. That's right, Rhode Island. It's the smallest U.S. state by area and the 7th least populous, with slightly less than 1.1 million residents as of 2020. But not unlike Rhode Island, black men represent a minority, but nevertheless, we cannot afford, like Rhode Island, to crumble. See, Rhode Island's tradition of independence and dissent gave it a prominent role in the American Revolution. Now you may not know it or not, but our independence gives us our prominence. And when I say our independence, I'm speaking specifically to black men. See, it was also the last of the 13 colonies to ratify the United States Constitution on May 29, 1790, and only under threat of heavy trade tariffs from the other former colonies. And after assurances were made that a Bill of Rights, that's right, I know I'm giving you a lot of history, but I'm building my case. The Bill of Rights was the last thing that they bargained to say that they wouldn't sign unless a Bill of Rights would become part of the Constitution. We're talking here about black men being the last pillar. So it was with Rhode Island. And so there was a battle at Rhode Island. And Portsmouth was the site of the first African-American military unit, the 1st Rhode Island Regiment, to fight for the U.S., get this, in the unsuccessful Battle of Rhode Island of August 29, 1778. Now, recently, the internet was set ablaze as photos depicting LeBron James wearing women's clothing. This photo went viral. Now, since we know that LeBron James has often been what we call the king of new trends in and around the NBA. So let's take a look at this clip from a TikToker, and then we'll be right back to have a bit more of this conversation. All right?
Well, who do we have here? Your NBA champion, the player that you love, the player that you worship and idolize, LeBron freaking James. I don't know where is this coming from and stemming from, But as you can see, there's more people in the industry wearing skirts. Not only him, John Cena. A lot of these big celebrities and celebs and basketball players are just normalizing wearing skirts. That's something a female or a woman do. And these are straight men with wives. And y'all don't decide to question why this is happening or why they doing things. Is this normal to you? Straight men being cross-dressers? Well, well, well. Who do we have?
Wow. Did you see that? So I want you to understand, brothers, that many times, even when you are doing the best you can to keep your reputation clean, there are always those who want to throw dirt on your reputation. Now this would be even the case with someone with LeBron James' status. You know, when they couldn't find any dirt to spread around about Brother James, they used AI to create it. And so we see here this AI generated LeBron James. And the post claimed that LeBron wore this outfit to celebrate the birth of his daughter. However, this is, of course, far from the actual truth. Of course, we now know that this was the result of AI. But my question is, why? Why does someone feel so comfortable in taking a photo of one unknown black man and merging it with another more famous one? Yeah, so this is the original photo. So if the technology is there, this could easily have been done to simulate a white person, an Asian, or even a Hispanic man. But why did this Reddit user choose LeBron James? I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to tell you why I believe this was done. It is my opinion that the intent has always been to push the fashion further into producing clothing designed to be suitable for both sexes. You see, unisex, in my opinion, has always been in existence, dwelling slightly underneath, hiding in plain sight, if you will. What better way for this to happen than to push the narrative of one gender adopting the clothing of the other? However, this push, although successful in other cultures, has not been so in the black community. I wonder why. But nonetheless, the attempts have been made. And those attempts were from a place where you would not think it would occur. Well, if I were asked you to guess, I believe you would get it right. That's right. You guessed it. It reared its head in the world of hip-hop culture. Many of you recall this number worn by Kid Cudi, as he said he was paying homage to the late Kurt Cobain during his performance on, I believe it was on Saturday Night Live. But when he followed up with this dress right here, I was somewhat baffled. Now let me make this disclaimer. All right, let me make this disclaimer. AB, can you put the disclaimer? Okay, you got it on the screen. Thank you. So, when I speak of the push toward gender neutrality in fashion, I in no way am referring to those that are part of the LGBTQ community. Listen, you are able to do what it is that you do in terms of fashion without any advice or commentary from HeSpoke Fashion. So the aim of this discussion, however, is to encourage those men who are not part of that community to draw a line in the sand. Let me say it again, to draw a line in the sand when it comes to fashion for them. So now that we've made our disclaimer, let's get back to the show. So when it was that the drift into hip hop didn't, in my opinion, gather enough steam, you would not believe where they then shifted. Well, that's right. You guys guessed it yet again. They shifted into sports. They found someone who, there's a ding, ding, ding. You did get it. Better late than never, right? But they found someone who was, to me, in my opinion, a pawn to push their agenda, and none other than, unfortunately, Russell Westbrook. I mean, if you ask me, the guy, his career has never been the same. But when they came from Hollywood, guys, let me tell you, the partakers were many and were too many to choose from. And these were those who chose fame and fortune over community. Yeah, there's a couple of superstars there. Now, listen. This really isn't an easy feat in Hollywood. When your career is hanging in the balance. So really, I'm not going to throw a stone at these men, because simply I hope that I would have the wherewithal to endure if they place a check with all those zeros in front of my face. Now, what about you, Grogu? What would you do? I mean, you could be honest. Would you? Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right, I got you. Talk about it later. But listen, there was no one at the time, but there was one who did stand where no one else would, and when no one else would. Not only did he say he was not going to wear a dress, but he also exposed a truth concerning it. Wait, Grogu. He said, listen. It's not Drewski, not Drewski, aka Andrew Caldwell this time, but it was someone far more famous, and he not only rejected the request to wear a dress, but he also exposed the push in Hollywood for black men to do so. AB, if you don't mind, can you roll this clip and listen, I hope you're rocking with us. We'll be right back.
I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin. Yeah. The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. The writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? A prostitute? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then like the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress. What is wrong? What is this, Brokeback Mountain in here? I mean, I'm a conspiracy.
All right. That's right. It was Dave Chappelle who stood against what he thought was bad for our community. And you know what happened when he did? You know what happened when he did, don't you? That's right. They created a false narrative surrounding him in order to ostracize him from his community and to ruin his reputation. Look at that. He abandoned his wife and kids over this. AB, could you put Dave back up there, please? And listen. If anyone could tag Dave Chappelle in this live, please go right ahead, because I want him to hear this. Go ahead, I'll wait. Okay. Listen, Dave, I want to say from HeSpoke Fashion, I want to personally thank you for your sacrifice, risking your career to stand up against the machine in order to save our community. Guys, listen, I know that it may take an extreme sacrifice for some of you to stand as a pillar against those who would push this agenda towards gender neutrality fashion for everyone. But I implore you to do so. Push back against it. Listen, we can simply take from our own blueprint to do so. How? Well, listen, you were the ones who back in the 80s and 90s, who, when other brands rejected your style and sense of fashion because they considered it to be too urban or ghetto or whatever the names they called it, you forged ahead and you created brands like this one, like FUBU. For us, by us. That was you that did that. That was black men who did that. And we can use their blueprint from these pioneers, from such pioneers as Damon Jones, right? Damon John, excuse me. Yeah, you can do that. He was a pioneer. If you can just follow his blueprint to get it out the mud, just like he did, you can do it. And even listen, before FUBU, you guys may not remember, but there was Carl Kanai, who emerged out of nowhere to be the first black designer to launch a hip hop line. That's right, it was Carl Kanai. Look, I used to rock the Carl Kanai back there. Yeah, I had a few items of Carl. AB, I did. No, for real. You'll never believe me. But even back then, you used what little influence and meager means you had to partner with entertainers that looked like you to build those brands to the mammoth brands that they were. That's right. LL Cool J and the guys from FUBU. And not only that, but you also use the legendary Tupac to rock the Carl Kanai. Rest in peace to Tupac. That's right, brothers. There was a time, listen to me close, when we worked together to build wealth, within our communities. And if we are going to stand tall as a pillar, then we must do that again. Hang tough, brothers, because it was even your insistence in believing that rocking a sweatsuit outside of the gym was fashionable that totally transformed the fashion industry and made leisure wear a popular thing. Listen, you're not a pillar alone, but you are a trendsetter. And you may not always get the credit, but I implore you to stand tough because you got this. You got this. But listen, now comes a point in our show where I want to shift gears a bit here and give you this segment that we want to perhaps do weekly, and that is to spotlight someone in fashion. It may, in fact, be someone from our community. But tonight, here is our very first fashion spotlight. That's right. We are spotlighting none other than Megan Thee Stallion. And if you've seen any of her more recent appearances, you can tell that she has been killing it in terms of style and fashion. Wouldn't you agree? Now, to my fellas, I know you might not be able to really appreciate her efforts while in your present company. But if you like what you've been seeing lately from Megan Thee Stallion, just place a 1 in the chat. And you know what? For my beautiful butterflies, if you aren't a hater but a congratulator, then why don't you throw a 2 in the chat as well? So for what I understand, the reason behind the glow up, I would call it, is for Megan Thee Stallion is that she has a new stylist. And this stylist, in my opinion, is one of the greats. If you have never heard of Law Roach, then please let me introduce him, as he is a fashion designer, stylist extraordinaire. Now he is best known for his work with Zendaya. But you know what? I think, personally, that some of his best work is right before our very eyes. She looks good, doesn't she? Yeah, I think she looks great. Now let's check out her from this recent game that she tossed the first pitch out at the Houston Astros game to start the baseball season. So let's take a look at this video, and then we'll be right back. All right.
Have been on their feet for about the last 40 minutes with the teams announced their opening day lineups and their entire rosters and the World Series trophies. Megan Thee Stallion is being told the pitch clock, which is something that we're going to see this year, is now running. She was practicing beneath the stadium just a few minutes ago and was throwing strikes. So here we go as she gets set to throw. With that, we are underway and set for the first pitch as we get set for opening night baseball here in Houston. A special thanks to Carl Weathers for voicing our own. Have been on their feet for about the last 40 minutes.
Now it looks like she had a great time throwing the first pitch out, and I think she looked fabulous doing it. So let's check out a couple of comments, shall we, from that first pitch. All right. Now this comment simply says, the cameraman understood the assignment. Brothers, come on. We have to applaud. Can I get a round of applause, AB, if you can? Can I get a round of applause for the cameraman. The cameraman did a phenomenal job of capturing the art. That's what I call it, the art. He captured the art. Now, don't worry about this guy. Let's move on. Look, here's another suggestion. Suggesting that we all knew when we saw it, right? Buddy ain't slick. The picture went out. I'm sure if it was a guy throwing, I didn't see no one hugging 50 Cent when he threw that foul ball out of the game, right? No. Now, I want to suggest to you that we are not the only ones that are fond of Megan's new look. So let's watch this clip, and we will be right back after this clip. You're going to get a kick out of this one.
But take a look at this man. He's accused of pretending to be a police officer so that he could get into a Final Four concert over the weekend. According to court documents, Trayvon Stevenson was wearing a police K-9 vest and said he was there as event security for the Megan Thee Stallion concert. Well, take a look at this man. He's accused of pretending to be a police.
That's right, ladies and gents. This young man was willing to risk it all just for a chance to get up close and personal with Megan. Look, forget about watching it on IG, a video, or even from the front row in the theater. This brother wanted to see the real thing. Now, from the looks of it, the comment section had a field day and had a good time with this brother. And some even felt that he is just, well, look at the comment. This comment says, really wanted to see them yams. Can I get you the yams? Sweet, sweet yams. Show me the way, 'cause I got bills to pay. Hey, the brother had to get to the yams. He had to get to the yams. I can't understand it. Let's look at another comment. Cooking with Jay says, free the man, he's innocent. So she says he's innocent. She wants him free. I wonder why. Let's look at another. This comment says, Organ and Moisture says, or Organ Eye Moisture says, Your Honor, I can't blame him. Fellas, is he telling the truth? Now, I can't say I agree with that. All right, let's look at Rick Jr. Rick Jr. says, well, where was the doggone dog K-9 officer? That's why he got caught. Even Martin had a dog when his CD player went missing. So if you don't know, the young man, of course, he disguised himself as one of the security detail, as the K-9 officer. That's right. He wanted to risk it all. Let's look at another comment. Now here's someone who says, so protecting black women is a crime now. So it seems to me that they want this guy to be vindicated because he just wanted to sign up to protect black women. But I like this next comment. It says, Annalise Keating, please get this man out. He's innocent, ma'am. Now they're having a bit of fun here, because to say that this man was innocent. Let's look at another. This guy, or the Black Rogue says, this woman, excuse me, he's fine, AF2. Who snitched on this king? So, okay, so, you know, you remember some time ago when the guy who was, took the mug shot and the internet went ablaze over his photo and he became actually a model because of that? Hey, this guy seems to have something going for himself. Let's look at another. This person says, bruh seen her throw that pitch at the baseball game. Listen, it was the pitch that did it. The pitch did it. Now, someone says, free that brother. He just wanted to see that peach move. I ain't mad at you. All right. So, brothers, we can concur that she's looking very well. Here's another comment. Houston Hottie says the ticket was free, though. All Big Dog had to do was register. Wait a minute. The tickets were free. He could get in free, so it wasn't a problem with his money. His money was straight. It was just what? He wanted to get the real thing. Let's look at another. Now, this one, Jojo Capone says, bye, cuz the judge looked like he posing too. He doesn't have his robe on. That's what the guy was saying. He doesn't seem to have his robe on. So now for those of you who are wondering why the women were proclaiming his innocence, then you can check him out for yourself on IG. He said he's a barber. Should I tell them, AB, how to find him? No. You can do that on your own. I'm not going to tell you anything. You can do that on your own. I'm not going to tell you. You can find his information on IG for yourself. I'm not going to tell. But listen, I wanted to showcase and feature for our first weekly fashion spotlight none other than Megan Thee Stallion. I think she's done a phenomenal job. Shout out to her stylist. You should look him up too. Law Roach is a phenomenal stylist. And listen, you don't always have to just go to IG. Sometimes you can take a look from a stylist. Go to their page and check them out. And I think you'll find some great fashion. Listen, I have really and truly enjoyed tonight's discussion. And listen, that's all we have. I'm so glad you continue to rock with us. But that's it. And you know what? What I want you to do is I want you to have a good night, good fashion, and remember, he spoke fashion to you. That's all I have. Yeah! In the building! Leave your questions and comments, and remember, this is He Spoke Fashion, and I really appreciate you all for watching. Please take time to follow us on Facebook, and if you really like this episode, what you think, leave your questions and comments, and remember, this is He Spoke Fashion, and I really appreciate you all for watching.